I swallowed down my grief, carried it inside me like a parasite that gnawed away at everything that was good. Eventually, I got to the mainland and joined a long line of people who were walking across Europe. I walked until the soles of my shoes were worn away, until I had gathered a group of kids around me, the ones, like me, who were traveling alone. We stuck together because it was safer that way, but still, we faced danger every day. We grew tough and cynical and ruthless, and we cried silently at night for all that we had lost. At a camp on the Italian border, charity workers tried to find us places. I told them I had family in Britain, and after a long wait, they managed to trace my uncle and aunt and get me added to the last consignment of unaccompanied refugee minors to be allowed into the UK. All I had of my aunt and uncle were the stories my parents had told, and a vague idea that they ran a tailor shop in London. They didn't live in London at all, and the tailor shop was actually a dry cleaner's, but the charity who were helping me back then tracked them down anyway. I remember the first time I saw Uncle Dara and Aunt Zena standing on the pavement outside the shop to welcome me, the nephew they hadn't even known they had. They were older than my parents, but Dara had a look of my mother all the same. Dark, wavy hair, stern brows, eyes that glinted with the promise of mischief. "My little sister Yasmin's boy," my uncle said, anguished. "After all this time, how can it be?" "You are welcome here, Sami. We are family, yes?" He threw his arms around me, and I felt the dampness of his tears against my cheek. I was safe. I was lucky. I was home. My father liked to look at the stars. He would sit on the flat roof of our old house in Damascus, the railings lined with terracotta pots of tomatoes, aubergines and peppers, the warm breeze heavy with the scent of jasmine, and gaze at the big, dark canopy of night sky. "Play the flute for us, Sami," my father would say, and I'd work my way through my scales yet again, squeaky and slow. I got better, of course, until I could play pretty well, until I could provide a soundtrack for my father to look at the stars. "Head in the clouds," my mother would say. But there were rarely any clouds back then, just acres of sky, cool as silk, pierced with little bursts of silver light. My father loved the night sky so much he moved the old brass bed up to the roof. He and my mother slept there, while my little sister Rosa and I would lie on our narrow bedsteads in the room below and listen to the whisper of their voices, faint and reassuring like distant birdsong. If it rained, which was rare, my mother would grab the pillows and the coverlet and run down into the house, and my father would grab the bedroll and follow her. Chapter 2. Lost and Found. I live in Milford now, a small town in the English Midlands. Uncle Dara and Aunt Zena run a small shop that does dry cleaning and alterations, with a workshop and a flat above. I sleep in the room that belonged to my cousin Taz before he left home to work in London. My cousin Faiza's old room lies empty. She's married with a little boy now and lives in Birmingham. The third bedroom belongs to my aunt and uncle. There is no roof garden and no warm breeze that smells of jasmine, just a fire escape, a rusting metal staircase with ancient, warped railings bolted to the back of the building. It has a view of a skip behind the charity shop next door, and the orange glow of streetlights hides the stars, but still, I like to sit here, playing the flute or reading a library book. The fire escape rattles in the wind and shudders a little when you climb it, but it is still my favourite place in Milford. School, by contrast, is my least favourite place. I was always going to stick out, a tall, skinny kid with black hair like a bird's nest and a worn, threadbare overcoat. "Welcome to Milford Park Academy, Mr. Simpson," the head teacher had told me on the first day. "We are pleased to have you, Samir. I hope that in time you will come to feel at home here." At home? Really? I forced a smile. "Thank you," I said. The head teacher frowned. "The overcoat will have to go, though," he said. "We have a strict uniform policy."